positions. 11, they should be treated as such. The Bears are back, baby!
Hello and welcome back to episode
50!
50.
Episode 50! Like, that's crazy.
Of I75
let's not
Live.
dumb this down, dude. Like, 50 full episodes. I think our year anniversary was last week. It was like July 31st, right?
50 episodes.
I want to say
Because we released during the Olympics, like the last week of the Olympics.
Yeah, but episode 50.
It's a big number, guys.
50
Congrats.
consecutive weeks. We've taken a couple here and there off because of travel or
Everyone clap.
or holidays.
Holidays, we had one.
So,
you
but
guys,
50 episodes, I think that's nothing to be ashamed of. It's everything to be proud of.
Next one's 100.
Regardless of how many followers you got or how much it is that is pretty cool to say that we've been doing
interesting
this for 50
content
episodes.
week after week.
Yes.
Yep.
This week, though, obviously, if you did watch last week's episode, I was at the Bristol Shit Show Speedway, so I have a lot of thoughts on that of what everyone saw on social media who weren't there. We've got a lot. The MLB trade, we've kind of thrown it out there that's
Trade
could
deadline.
arguably be one of the best trade deadlines in all of sports.
I think it is.
It lived up to it with a lot of players traded.
Not for the Braves.
We got fourth and long again. Obviously, that's turned into a really fun, interesting segment we do. Talk a little bit about the Hard Knocks episode 1. That was last night. And then wrap it up with some preseason expectations going into the first couple preseason games with all the teams this weekend.
Right.
First, though, the Bristol Speedway shit show. Look.
Well, let me hear. So, what was your experience overall this weekend?
The weather was awesome for the most part. When it wasn't raining, it was overcast. It was 70 degrees. It felt great with as many people as it didn't feel miserable.
Yeah.
And it was very similar to the draft, as you know, we were there. And now I will say also the NFL is, I think, better and more. They were able to accommodate for more people. They were more prepared for the amount of people that were there.
Yeah.
Compared to what Bristol was.
Well, because realistically, like, they did the Field of Dreams, and that was kind of like a spectacle. But I think this is like the first time the MLB has done something at like a historic site where you can fit hundreds of thousands of people into the same venue.
And it's a historic venue, like you said.
Were you far away though? Like when you were in your seats, like I know you only got to see one inning, but did you?
No,
could
our seats were great. Like for real. Like we thought we were gonna be up there squinting and binoculars. Like we joked and we brought binoculars and it was funny, but no, like we could see. And it was a cool, like when we were watching BP, some of the you could see the ball fly really well. So that our seats were great, and it kind of worked out because our seats were some of the only ones covered.
Yeah.
So when it was raining, we were able to stay in our seats and just chill because those where our seats were while everyone else was going under. And the venue was great. The opening, I have a couple clips I can play them as I'm talking of me and Vanny. We did the pitching
experience.
We joked and we were like, hey, whoever loses has to buy the loser a beer. I'll show it. I won by 1 mile an hour.
How much money did you save by getting that free beer?
I think it was like a $12 beer.
As far as just as long as we know that I would have smoked both of them in that competition.
I would have too.
There were no legs being used in that
I feel like at 55,
you were missing like 7 or 8 miles per hour just on the stands.
I feel like I would have gotten it to be at least 67.
67?
Yeah,
I believe it.
I'm down. There'll be a future competition somewhere.
Jim.
I think I could have done it. I really do.
No, but that was cool. It was very similar to the draft again, how they had stuff and the merch line was insane. It was like an hour and a half to 2 hour wait, and chances are when you got up there,
how many stores did they have? Like how many merch stores? Was
it
just the one?
No, they had like 4 or 5 in the stadium, and they had 3 or 4 outside of the stadium. So they had a good bit, but every line was insane.
Yeah.
But no, as soon as the rain started, it was unfortunate, and then all the pregame stuff, it kind of stopped. There was a gap to where they got in a little bit of the game. Now, I will say it was funny too when it started and there was one inning. And we were watching it and we were like, this is gonna get canceled. We couldn't see how bad the field was.
Oh yeah.
From where we were sitting.
We were watching
water on third base.
And then all of a sudden we start
a puddle
seeing
on third base.
they canceled the game, or they didn't cancel, but they delayed it. They put the tarp over and we start going on our phones and we were like, oh my God, they were playing in like a mud pit.
Yeah.
And we couldn't see it.
Yep. They tried
when like
so
Austin
hard
Riley
to get
dove
some
on
baseball.
third and like we couldn't tell until we started and we were like, holy, this is funny.
So funny.
The food thing though.
It's a good thing you guys didn't get hungry at this thing.
So
right?
we all were. That's the funny part is everyone was so bored for so long that it was like, hey, let's go get food. Like we got nothing else to do. And I think that ultimately led to the whole debacle of they ran out of food and they were serving hot dogs without buns and chips without nacho cheese.
Really?
Yes.
Oh my God.
So I genuinely, Jake brought this up too. And he was like, do you think if the game was played when it was supposed to, and it was, by the time they ran out of food, the game was damn near going to be over.
The game started like 2 hours late.
Yes. And then it kind of went, and then people stayed because everyone thought it was still going to get played.
Yeah.
I truly, truly don't think they run out of food if the game is played when it was supposed to and ended when it was supposed to, where people were staying in their seats instead of being bored and like, okay, well, we got to go do something. Let's go buy food or let's go do this. So I do truly think if the game wasn't delayed the way it was and with all the rain, that there would have been enough food and that wouldn't have even been like a storyline.
Yeah.
Did they run out of beer?
They didn't run out of beer.
Of course not, Chris. This is a sporting event.
I know.
Run out of alcohol.
They did not run out of beer.
The one thing they will supply.
The funniest part is the next day, if you were there, if you heard, they were allowing people to bring in their own non-alcoholic.
Could you imagine bringing your own food into Truist Park? Like they'd be like, "You're not coming in here with anything."
5 pizzas.
Now I read though that some people were pissed because for NASCAR races they allow people to bring in coolers of drinks and
it makes
food.
sense.
And
I mean, it's like an
8
hour.
People were doing that for this game, and they were being told no, and so that was also confusion. But no, it truly was a really cool venue. I've never been to a NASCAR venue before. That was really cool. The whole atmosphere. Yeah, it was huge.
You can fit 2 Truist Parks inside that stadium.
I mean, it was ginormous.
That's actually a small NASCAR track.
Is it really?
Technically not. We looked it up. It's one of the biggest ones.
Really?
You can double check on me. We were looking it up in the stands.
Okay.
No, it was huge.
I want to see this. About changes though for the next time they do it.
Yeah, do you think
I want
they'll
a
go
NASCAR
back,
race
first off?
at the same time as the baseball game.
People were saying
I want it at the same
work.
time.
I
want to hear like when the announcers are going and as the cars are coming around and he's swinging a miss.
Be wild. I will say too,
the
where the fence is in that like gap of the track versus the like where the pits would be and the fence. It is there's
the pit stop.
Oh, it's like a huge, like way bigger than you would think. I know as someone you may have seen the video of the guy trying to throw the ball and he completely just didn't get it there and everyone was making fun of him. But no, it was a cool venue. And if it didn't rain, I think it would have been talked about as in that was a really, really awesome. And unfortunately the rain and the delays turned it into this whole, they didn't have
Bristol
food.
Motor Shit Show.
Yeah, where it wasn't.
That'll be its nickname forever.
It will be. And we were joking on our way home of, well, they're never doing this again. And
do you think they will though? Like maybe not at Bristol, but do you think they'll do a NASCAR venue again?
I think you have to. Especially with what they're trying to do with baseball, and they're trying to grow it when the ratings have been down.
Baseball in a football stadium.
I think though, you know what I think they'll do? I think
like the Savannah Bananas have been doing that across the country, so it is possible.
We talked about the teams though. Like this one had to be the Braves and the Reds.
If you look at the map, it's literally right in the middle of the Braves.
So if they do it again, like it couldn't, like maybe they could have done it with the Dodgers or the Yankees, but if they do it again, if they do it out west somewhere at a different track out there, maybe wherever, I mean, I don't know where
baseball
all the tracks are at, but maybe they try to find another area where 2 teams are fairly close.
Baseball
they get the fan base.
In the Las Vegas sphere. Hear me out. Hear me out.
Or in Las Vegas where the Raiders play. In
Allegiant Stadium.
It was cool. It sucks.
There will be a team in Las Vegas. There will be a baseball team in Las Vegas.
Oh,
no question.
It's the Athletics.
Yeah, well, but it's
they're going to Vegas. And then the Mavericks will be in Vegas.
That's right. Oh, yeah.
But to wrap up that, it was cool. If it wasn't for the rain, it was a cool venue.
It was.
Our seats were great. If we got to watch the full game, I think it would have been really, really fun. We had a good group of people. We sat next to some cool people, too, that we were talking to. So, unfortunately, it just kind of happened the way it did, and that's what it will be remembered as.
Yep.
To kind of wrap up MLB, though, you've been on record saying that it's one of the best trade, if not the best trade deadlines in professional sports, the MLB Trade Deadline. 179 total players, 63 total trades. I don't think, any of them are crazy. The one big one to me that sucks as being a Braves fan, and I hate is the Phillies getting the best reliever
Yohan Duran.
in baseball. But people are saying, arguably, and the Phillies are just on a tear right now. It sucks to watch because we've been so rival being Braves.
Yep.
They're having a hell of a year. They just added to an amazing bullpen and amazing pitching staff. That
they got Harrison Bader as well for some more defense in the outfield. Yeah. And the Mets, the Mets are making moves as well. They got Helsley from the Cardinals. But it's crazy. Like, it really is. A lot of teams made some moves. So, I like that. And I love that about the trade deadline is it seems like if you're not a seller, you have to be a buyer if you even want a chance in the playoffs. So, the Yankees made probably 6 or 7 trades. They got the Pirates closer and then some other closers as well. So,
it hasn't done much for them, though. Haven't they lost 5 or 6 in a row?
Yeah, that's true.
Since the All-Star break, they have not.
Yeah, the Mariners and the Astros are both competing in their division, so the playoffs will be very interesting. And I do still think it's probably realistically down to 3 or 4 teams, like it always is. Yeah. And it can only be those 3 or 4. But the Brewers are red hot right now. There are a few interesting stories in the
best
MLB.
Team in baseball right now. The Brewers.
Yeah, and they didn't change too much. So that shows you how confident they are in their roster right now. The Cubs made a few changes as well, same division as the Brewers, and the Reds made some trades as well. I know our guys were happy about that.
They were very happy.
Finally, and those 3 teams are all in the same division as well. So there's some good competition going on in the MLB. And this trade deadline, damn near 180 players traded. When does that happen? I obviously I don't think they necessarily keep track of the numbers like that, but I'd argue this is probably one of the biggest trade deadlines the MLB has ever had. This is crazy.
That, and there's nothing that compares to it across any of the other sports.
Every time I looked at my phone, there was a new trade. Every few minutes.
And you could say, it's a bunch of just farm system guys and all, but it's just that. That's just what the MLB is, and you just don't see anything like it. So it is very interesting. But yes, that is over. The Braves, like you kind of mentioned, we didn't do a lick. Yeah,
they didn't
win.
They didn't buy or sell. What's the plan?
So they must know something that we don't know. Because whatever's going on in that clubhouse, the Braves are just not themselves this year. But they also don't want to fire sale some of their athletes and some of these guys that they know can contribute down the road.
You guys kind of remind me of? It's the 2021 White Sox, the year after we made the playoffs, and it finally started to go downhill. So I think either it could be one of 2 things. The players are bought out, they're just
we're our core of the Austin Rileys, of the Matt Olsons, they're all signed through 31, 32.
Well, so that, but I don't think there's enough maybe motivation in the locker room. Maybe they do need a new manager because that's ideally, honestly, that's what the manager does is, build a culture. I don't think you still need good pitching and hitting coaches. So maybe that's another issue they have. But what I mean by the 2021 White Sox is we had all the talent in the world, but no one gave a shit. It's almost like they didn't think that they had a chance. So they just collect the paycheck and then let's just kind of coast through the season. We'll win the games we should win, but we're not going to win any of the ones that we shouldn't win. It's kind of right there in the middle. And so I don't wish it on them because I like the Braves. I really do. But something needs to change this offseason big. And clearly they weren't committed to doing it in the middle of the season. So
at some point, I think we have to really think about spending more money on our pitchers. We tend to think that
now the injury.
I know we have injuries. I know that.
But this is why you spend money.
But this is why you spend the money, though. I just feel like we don't have the depth and not so many coin flip guys to say he could be Like, let's get a few true starters in here next year that we need. Now we got guys, Tommy John, you got, guys out for another year. Like it's a mess.
Who knows what's going to happen with Sale too.
And even Acuna, it's just been another shit show of a season.
I think the injuries definitely play a big part for them. 100%. But I do think there's a maybe a motivation factor kind of built in. They're just, I don't know.
I hope Acuna doesn't turn into a Mike Trout.
It's been circled. Yeah. He's pushing that territory because I was listening to something of the amount of games that Mike Trout has missed versus the amount of games that Acuna has missed, and he's
missing the prime of his career.
It's getting close.
Yeah, it sucks.
There's been just the aura around the Braves of they don't spend enough money and they don't do this and all the injuries and all everything that everyone sees. It just feels like there's not enough urgency. Like when we had Freddie Freeman here, he was that voice of reason, and it just kind of sometimes feels like who is doing that?
Who's the leader in the locker room?
Who's the leader? Are we just all kind of looking at each other
can't speak English, so
so it's a little unfortunate because we are supposed to be one of the best teams in baseball with our players and with what we have, but we just have.
Yeah.
This week, though, like we mentioned, we're going to go into another Chris's fourth and long. Yeah. I know you have probably a lot of good stuff about the NFL, about Bills, but I am excited for this week.
Let's go.
Here we go. On a 4th and goal. 4th down and 20. 4th and 21, not the way you want to try to extend it.
What do you got for us this week?
All right, guys, this is going to be fun. There's a lot of news happening right now. I mean, things are just gearing up for the NFL.
Finally.
So, finally. So, I want to talk about the preseason for a minute, though.
Okay.
So, the NFL has reduced. They did it a few years ago, I think back in 21. They reduced preseason from 4 games to 3. Mm-hmm. How necessary are these games? Should they just call them scrimmages? And should fans really care about the scores, the outcomes? I say in the preseason, only have joint practices and scrimmages. Are we punting on this idea? Or are we going for it?
I don't hate the idea. I genuinely don't, because I don't give a shit about the final score of a preseason game. Honestly, they kind of are scrimmages, but super necessary to ramp up for the season. So I think they already have a lot of joint practices, and I like watching football as much as I possibly can. So, keep the preseason games, but I think they're super necessary. I think, and we're seeing more and more teams kind of commit to playing their starters. Like I saw, I'm blanking on the team, but they're playing all of their starters. The Titans are playing all of their starters in every single preseason game. Really? The Bengals are going to start doing it. The Bears are doing it. And so there are a lot of teams that are going to be playing guys so that they don't, start off slow, like week 1.
So here's my take on that. I kind of a little bit different to where these preseason games are so important for the guys trying to make
the roster bubble guys too.
The roster bubble guys. This is the time to put them into a real as close to a real game setting environment that you're going to get on a regular season Sunday to see if they can perform and do whatever the job is that the team is looking for them to do when it comes to role player guys.
Yep.
Whether that's special teams, whether that's kickers, whether that's punter, whether that's the backup tight end, whatever it is.
Backup quarterback. Huge. Yeah.
And we're seeing that with the Browns. Yeah. So I think when it comes to it, these games are as monotony as it is, and as it's like, well, they're preseason, who cares? These games and these practices matter a lot when it comes to the team and building a roster.
On top of that,
I get that they matter. I get that it's important for
the NFL can sell tickets for preseason
should we care as much as fans? And should the fandom get so excited about, look what this guy did, or look what that guy did, or look, this quarterback couldn't throw 3 balls into the net in practice, and what does that even mean?
And
it'll always be there.
That's where I think right now some people are just fiending.
They're
for
bored.
It. So they're bored. So that's the only thing on social media.
Yeah.
That's the only thing circling around. So they're just trying to talk about something football because it's so close and they want it.
And they don't let you film really most of their practices. Like you only get a few little glimpses, and a lot of it is what their social media team releases. I mean, I saw the Bears had their family weekend like last weekend where they played in the stadium. It was a full team scrimmage. They didn't let fans record. There were a few. You saw like maybe 3 plays, but
I saw the
fans were getting in trouble. Wide open, by the way. It was a great play. We see those play designs in the regular season, great.
I did see that play.
But yeah, I think preseason, and I think NFL will never say no to money. I mean, they can sell way more tickets for a stadium preseason game than they can a training camp practice. And it goes towards the league and not the team. So it's
sure.
Yeah, and we were talking to AJ about this, and I said it. I was like, I even said this to you. If you took Tom Brady and Mahomes and they were playing in the Super Bowl and Brady lost, but he just had an amazing 2 weeks of practice. It was just his 2 best weeks of practice the whole year. I don't care.
Nobody cares.
No one cares. You lost the game. You lost what mattered on Sunday. So right now, I think there is it's that
boredom.
People are bored and just foaming at the mouth to watch football, and it's so close, and games and seeing all this stuff. So I get it and I understand, but me personally, I seriously I don't care. Because if you can't do it on Sunday, I'm not going to go back at the end of the year.
Oh, he was really cool in the preseason.
He was really cool in the preseason. Or he looked, remember when he threw that one ball and that practice that it just looked, oh man, no.
I'll still watch it though.
Yeah, of course. And I'll still watch it. And it's, what practice is very, very important to be able to perform on Sunday. I'm not arguing that. But if you can't do it on Sunday, it doesn't matter how good or how amazing your practice was or how good you looked. It doesn't matter. You can't do it on Sunday.
Yeah.
So that's what I think.
So speaking of news, though, and speaking of our desire for more information and just everything NFL, huge news last night.
That we headed towards an NFL streaming service, Chris?
So, we did have...
Did I predict the future?
Well, I mean, kind of. So hear this out. So ESPN has now acquired NFL Network, NFL Red Zone, and NFL Fantasy.
How much was the deal? Did they release it?
So it wasn't even money. In exchange for the NFL now owns 10% of ESPN.
I did see that, actually.
Now, that's the part where I was like, what?
That's a lot of money.
Well, it's a lot of money, but think about this for a minute. If the NFL owns 10% of ESPN, how fair and balanced are some of the reports going to be now when they have to talk about the NFL? I mean, how do you feel about that?
I think it'll continue to be as biased as it's ever been, really. I mean, sports media really since the turn of the decade has been really just the rise of social media. Everything is toxic. And so everything is clicks, whatever gets the most clicks. So I don't think that will necessarily change. I'm still not going to watch it because the talking heads on ESPN really have just made my ears bleed for the last, ever since I started really comprehending what makes a football player great or an athlete great in general. And so, it really feeds into the rise of podcasts too, because people don't want to hear that, biased BS. But I think this is big for the NFL going forward. I really do. I think that this is moving closer to getting it all under the one umbrella and not having it all scattered. I think this is fantastic. And they're keeping Scott Hansen for Red Zone.
Yeah. It's funny because we got called stupid. Got called all the things we did when we talked about this at first.
Here we are.
It's not going to be this. It's not going to happen like that.
No.
But this is the first domino to fall.
Step one.
That is going to ultimately lead to, I think, ESPN. I mean, they've done it with everything. It seems like every sport, they one way or another, they figure out how to control it.
Yeah.
And then they just kind of have all the cards in their hands and they can do whatever they want. And
now they have the big fish.
When it comes to NFL, the NFL is king. And everyone knows that.
Major.
That is what they need. That is what they've probably been wanting for years now.
Who knows how long they've been trying to negotiate
Well, so hear this out, though, you guys. So I don't know if you realize how important ESPN is to cable providers and cable subscriptions.
I have no doubt it's probably
it has been the stronghold
50% of numbers.
Yes, it is why most people subscribe to a program, to a cable program or YouTube TV or all the streaming services now, because ESPN's a part of it. If ESPN pulls out of that everything changes.
Yeah.
There are people that only want to watch ESPN, but it's never been an option. You have to pay for all the other HDTV and Cooking Network and all this bull crap that nobody wants to actually watch, but you have to have those channels in order to watch ESPN. Well, now ESPN, if you remember, back in May, they announced they are coming out with a streaming app for all ESPN for $29.95 a month. And that is coming. Now, Disney tends to screw a lot of things up anyway. People say they screwed up Star Wars, and they screw lots of things up. So I don't know what they're going to end up doing to all of this, but that alone is going to change the landscape of how we receive our sports.
Good.
And it could be the first domino. It is the first domino. And I don't know where we'll be in 5 years, but I think a lot of things are going to change.
Yeah, and I know this stuff's not supposed to affect this year. It will really play into next year.
Yeah.
Speaking of stuff next year, for all the students out there, if you haven't bought Sunday Ticket yet, I used Haley's student discount.
Oh, it's great. It's fantastic.
$100 for
even though she's not a student anymore.
Even though she's technically not a student anymore, I made sure to purchase it before they found out she wasn't. So if you haven't and you know someone, do it now, because $480 to $120 with Red Zone.
Or get a Fire Stick for $30. Find a nice little article online that walks you through how to get every single game for free.
Yes, there are ways to do that too.
I don't do that, but I just know
there are ways to do that. But it's kind of like this. There's a lot of programs out there that you can buy the program and basically have it do everything for you, or you can go out and find it all for free.
Yep.
Usually, though, that small fee, whatever it is, it's usually worth paying.
Let me tell you right now, brothers, I do not pay for anything.
So, again, guys, we're not paid. The NFL doesn't pay us, and certainly Sunday Ticket doesn't pay us. If they want to sponsor us, that'd be great. Although this is the time to sign up for you lovers out there.
But to wrap up that question, it is the first domino to fall.
Oh yeah.
Yes, it really is. This is going to change the landscape. The same way that when shopping malls, the big stores started pulling out, and then all of a sudden there was no more mall, and now we don't have malls anymore, really hardly. So it is going to change this landscape that you guys have grown up.
It will take a couple years, but it's coming.
Okay, here's part of it then. So here's another one. Is it fair that Jordan Addison gets suspended for 3 games for liability? He violated substances of abuse policy, right? And Rashid Rice, he pleads guilty for his car racing, leave the scene, whatever the hell he was doing,
weed
right?
In the
that
car
accident
and weapons in the car.
Crickets from the NFL.
Yeah. So look, I've said this multiple times to the people that we, gather information for this show. I think it's absolutely ridiculous that nothing has come out of him being suspended.
They are so scared to make a verdict.
They
genuinely are.
When it's the whole time it's been, well, we're gonna wait till the court system come. Okay, it's been
surprise.
It's been almost 2 weeks now.
Yeah. Oh, it's been longer than that.
That the court system has determined, what's going to happen. So let's get a move on.
5 years of probation.
I'm not just saying this because I'm a Patriots fan, but Tom Brady got 4 games for allegedly deflating footballs.
Wasn't it? I thought it was 6 games.
No, it was 4.
It was 4. Okay.
He got 4 games for there was zero proof that he did it.
And he appealed it. And
he appealed it. No. And they said no. And he still got 4 games.
And I think they went to the Super Bowl.
This dude, we did.
They did.
This dude and Goodell had to hand us over the trophy
that season up at Gillette, actually.
So to me, you have a guy that's been convicted of a lot of
he pled guilty.
Unrestricted weapons, all the marijuana, like everything.
Yep.
He's on what? He's on house arrest for like 5 years.
5 years of probation, yeah.
And not to mention when Tom Brady did that,
play football
he wasn't even allowed to be
practice with the team
to be anywhere near the facility.
Yeah.
And I know that for a fact because this documentary that he made, made it a point because that's where he was able to go on vacation and kind of spend some time with his family.
Where's
before the season.
Rashid Rice right now, Dawson?
Practicing with the Chiefs at their training camp. The whole thing smells bullshit to me.
It is.
And it just does not. I don't want to throw the whole, Chiefs and NFL can't do something to hurt Mahomes, but it's hard not to think that when this whole time it's been, we're going to wait for the court system. We're going to wait to see what they decide to do. Okay, it's done now. But then Jordan Addison, what he did, that's a different story. Yeah. But 3 games for, a
DUI.
So even the last couple of years, Calvin Ridley, was it?
Calvin Ridley with
Calvin Ridley with the gambling got a year. If it was up to me for what he got charged for house arrest, full year, you're not allowed to go to the team facility for a year. The same way they did with with Ridley, and kind of similar to what they did with Tom. I think it's bullshit, to be quite frank with you.
It's incredibly bullshit. Like, it really is. And I think now that Addison has 3 games, you cannot give Rashee Rice any less than 8, I think. Like, there's no way in hell.
Any less than
you have to suspend him half the season, at least. After, like, what this incident happened like a year and a half ago at this point almost, I think. Right? Like, this happened before last season started. Yes. And everyone was like, "Oh, he's gonna tear up," and he ended up getting hurt, which is incredibly unfortunate. But like, who knows what the Chiefs are if Rashee Rice gets to play that whole year? And that's exactly what the NFL wanted. Like, they were so happy that the court did not rule anything for that year, and they were like, "Okay, we could have our first three-peat.
We can wait
in the NFL
and
get the merch ready."
It's bullshit. I don't think you can't convince. I don't think there's any route you can take, an example that you can give me that will change my mind that this is not stupid.
It's Chiefs bias.
That he hasn't gotten in trouble or gotten fined or anything from the NFL.
Yeah. Anything.
That's right. I think it's
crazy.
Bullshit.
And they haven't said anything.
No.
Like, ever since they said
guys,
we're waiting on a
breaking news, ESPN, they shut the camera off because they were going to talk about the NFL. That's what's going to happen. It'll be interesting. Yeah. They own 10%. It'll be interesting.
It's bullshit.
Here we go. Yeah. Last one, guys. So just found out a few days ago that we are getting just down the street from here, man, all these great restaurants.
Portillo's?
We're getting a Dave's Hot Chicken.
Man. Oh, we really?
Yeah. We're getting a Dave's Hot Chicken. That's right. When it comes to chicken sandwiches, where are you going for your next one?
Dude, you know what? I mean, you can't go wrong with Chick-fil-A, but dude, I'm not lying. Popeye's chicken sandwich.
I was just about to say that.
It's really good.
I've never had a Popeyes.
It's really good.
Popeyes chicken sandwich with extra mayo.
It's great.
It's so good.
What about Culver's? You
get the Culver's extra crispy.
Culver's was okay. They're not as much chicken, but a freaking
crispy
Popeyes crispy chicken sandwich. I'm telling you, that thing is. It is really good. Add some extra mayo or some Chipotle mayo on that thing.
You're gonna make Chris go to.
I love Chick-fil-A though. Chick-fil-A, the argument that I see all the time with Chick-fil-A is if you take Chick-fil-A sauce away from a Chick-fil-A sandwich or the nuggets or the fries, it's not as good. And if you need sauce to make the food good, then the food's not that good. To where I could eat a chicken sandwich from Chick-fil-A without sauce and be completely
every day
and be fine with it. Now Chick-fil-A sauce is amazing and it adds. But that's the argument I see all the time with Chick-fil-A of with the sauce. But
my thing is, what's the problem with making something better that's already good? Like, why are we against sauce? Why are we against putting sauce on?
Everyone just has something to freaking say about everything now. And I know you could say the same thing about us.
We are i75 live, baby.
But everyone has, even the whole Sydney Sweeney jeans ad. Like, everyone's got something to say where it's like.
Yeah.
Oh,
they should release a Tom Brady jeans ad.
If I'm going to,
Dawson would be right at the door.
swipe.
So, but are we going to Dave's Hot Chicken? Like, are we going to go?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. When is it open?
I don't
know when it opens. I've never had it. I've seen it all over social media because we just haven't had anyone close.
I heard it's fantastic.
Where does the chain? Where is it from?
I don't know.
Dave's Hot Chicken. I'd imagine it's like a Nashville thing. It sounds like.
But I've heard it's very good. So when it's open. I think it's right down the street.
I like it.
And Portillo's is opening here.
Portillo's will be open in the winter, I think.
Is it? Because I drove by it the other day, and it's not looking like anytime soon. So
like the end of the year, I think. I hope. But it may be a little bit longer.
Yeah, a Popeyes chicken sandwich with extra mayonnaise.
Yeah, Dave's Hot Chicken actually started in Hollywood in a parking lot.
Really?
In a pop-up.
Interesting.
That's where it started back in 2017, so it was only like 8 years ago.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's become pretty popular on social media. I'm sure everyone knows what it is, but we're finally getting one, so I'll definitely try it.
All right. Okay, guys, that's it. That's all I got.
Nice job.
Good one. Good one, Chris. Well, before we move on, in the spirit of episode 50, that is 50 very hard worked on episodes. We are committed to growing this show. We would be eternally grateful if you would show that appreciation. And if you like the episodes, feel free to leave a like, drop some comments, follow the social media pages. Feel free to interact with us as well. We love talking to you guys, and we'll never stop. So,
Also, on top of the 50 episodes, over 300 and some odd how many clips that we have posted on social media that have been edited and made by all of us.
Yep.
So it has been a little. It's been a grind, but it's been a lot of fun to be able to try to create the best sports content that we can with all that. ESPN and what
Who
we
needs
like to complain
a stake in the NFL and ESPN? We do it on our own.
To go more on the NFL, though, Bills Hard Knocks Episode 1 came out last night. I did watch it. I know you watched it. It wasn't anything crazy, wasn't anything spectacular. I thought it was cool that they highlighted the teams that go to college campuses and stay in dorms. I think that's cool. And
sucks for the players, though.
The way Josh Allen was, I'm sure they do, but at the same time, it probably makes them feel like kids again.
2 beds squished together with a memory foam mattress in the middle of a hard practice.
I think for 2 weeks, you look at it and you go, hey, we can be kids again.
Yeah.
We can all live in the dorms and hang out. I'm bringing my scooter. You bring your PlayStation. Let's play. So I think for 2 weeks it's fun.
I think the Steelers do it too.
Yes, they do. They do.
Yeah.
I think they said like
DK and Aaron Rodgers were roommates.
Yeah, like 5 or 6 teams still do it.
5.
So I thought that was cool that they highlighted that. Josh Allen is, I think, it's just so hard not to freaking like that guy.
Yeah, I know.
It really is. When I want to hate him, when he's going to be the next Tom Brady in my division, I can't.
Too bad.
He's so likable.
Yep.
I really like that. I like they highlighted that. The Dawkins, their left tackle, who is
Deion Dawkins.
Yeah, Deion Dawkins, who is always just kind of like.
He's the guy that advocated for, I love Deion Dawkins because he agreed with my take that there should be a Lineman of the Year award. Yeah. He's the one that got that going, and now there is, apparently.
Well, and like his whole, it was funny. We were watching it, and I was watching it with Haley, and she was like, could you, your hobby is drift cars.
Drag race, like drifting.
Drifting cars. Sick. Like you have $1 million hobby.
Let me just say, they could not have picked a better song for that sequence. Chris, when you watch it, just think Motley Crue the entire time, and you'll know the second the garage door opens what I'm talking about. That was awesome.
It was pretty cool though to see. It was like, dang, that's quite a hobby you got there.
Yeah,
I wish that could
taking all 3 of his kids for a little drift.
No, and the Bills, it just goes, the Bills are going to be, again, a great team. I think it was a little unfortunate that their rookie from Kentucky got hurt.
Yeah,
he'll
Max
be back.
Hairston.
It's not an ACL, and they kind of highlighted that a little bit.
Yeah.
The Bills are going to be fun to watch.
They are.
They showed the new stadium, too, how the technology with the wind and how they've built it. It was a really cool stadium and really cool little segment that they showed of Josh Allen walking through, talking to all the people who built it.
That was awesome.
And the owner, and they were joking that they've built this whole beer village to when they score, they can go over there.
Get beer.
Yeah. So it's going to be a Bills Mafia stadium to the max.
How did they not put a roof on that place, though?
Home field advantage.
Yeah, they didn't want to get rid of home field advantage.
They don't want the Dolphins to come to Buffalo and feel comfortable.
Much snow they get up there. Sometimes they have 2 feet of snow in some of those.
And they love it. And they beat the 49ers' ass last year in it. So they love it. They don't want that.
No, I agree with you. They did not want to get rid of that home field advantage playing in the cold.
Definitely not.
But even that, though, the way that stadium is constructed when they were describing it, it's gonna be really, and you're gonna start to see that across the league. I think with new stadiums, to where
the Bears will get one eventually.
That stuff is going to be thought about.
Yep.
To avoid wind and to avoid all the things that they talked. So
wind is part of Chicago's home.
Well, kind of like at the Miami Stadium, the way the visiting team gets stuck in the sun.
Yes. Yeah.
And they have some similar things there too, where it's some home field advantage for sure.
Yes.
Oh yeah. So I have a theory about this Hard Knocks. This as a whole, why they chose the Bills. I think they saw that NFL fans were getting tired of the Chiefs and all of the winning that they've done. And they saw, here's another prolific quarterback that just won MVP, doesn't have a crazy brother who gropes females, and doesn't have a dad that gets DUIs and argues with old baseball players. Josh Allen. And he's dating a smoke show of an actress. So I think
they got married. They're not dating.
Married to a smoke show of an actress. But I think this is the NFL's starter propaganda to get Josh Allen to be the face of the league. 100%. This is the reason they chose the Bills, is because they are trying to pivot away from the Kelsey and Swift and the Mahomes storylines. I think they saw just how tired people got of it last year and the amount of negative publicity that they were getting. And they were like, here's a guy right here that honestly could turn all of that around. Let's get the Bills in the playoffs. Let's get the Bills to the Super Bowl.
But what have I always told you, Dylan, about publicity?
It's true, but if you have the option to choose, wouldn't you go lean towards, positive publicity with Josh Allen, a family man, signs everyone's autograph no matter how many he needs?
Right. And if you don't have the option to choose, you buy part of ESPN.
Why would you continue to beat the dead horse and try and, milk Mahomes out even more?
Force people to
even though the Chiefs seem like they're on the decline this year, I'm just saying. It was a little bit too perfect in my eyes to not be planned out. So that's what I think, but I loved it. I thought it was great. And I'm very happy they chose the Bills.
Almost I think it was for a reason. As the Mavericks getting the number 1 pick.
Yeah, that too. Everything's for a reason. This was not accidental. Not accidental at all, just like the Mavericks.
Well, I'll say if it is true, and that's their mastermind plan behind all this, it's working.
It is.
For someone who has to play them 2 times a year and in their division, like I said, it is extremely hard to not like Josh Allen and like what he stands for and just the way he goes about things and the way he just interacts with his teammates and the fans, like you said.
Yep.
How do you hate that guy?
Nope. Can't. He's going to be the new face of the league. Bye-bye, Mahomes. Sorry. But you're old news. Your family is too batshit crazy for you to honestly. And I don't know. It's just, I think
Taylor Swift
thing
Chiefs. For me was
I think the NFL will learn from this mistake and not shove Haley Steinfeld down our throats as much as we would not be opposed to that. But
well, moving on. So to wrap up today's episode, we're going to talk a couple little fun storylines heading into the first. And I am interested to see what we kind of... There's 3 that are, I think, the most important and the most controversial in a way, you could say, going into the preseason. The first one is the whole Anthony Richardson, Daniel Jones thing.
I think they'll both play.
Anthony Richardson or Daniel Jones. Yeah. If you didn't see that, that's what was listed on their depth chart.
Yep.
I think this is hilarious because the Colts, in my opinion, are screwed at quarterback. I don't think Anthony, and we talked to AJ because he's a huge Anthony Richardson fan, and I understand it's your team. You have to be. The dude can't stay healthy.
Yeah.
And the argument is if your X factor is you can run the ball, every time you run the ball, you get hurt one way or another. So that's really not an X factor, if you ask me. I don't trust him for the simple fact that he hasn't given us anything to really be potential.
Yeah.
The same way some of these other guys have. And then on top of that, your backup is Daniel Jones, and we've seen what he's done the past couple of years.
Ironically, I do think, I don't know if you saw the fantasy group chat, I think it was yesterday, I'm more excited to see Riley Leonard, the Notre Dame quarterback, because they have him. They took him in the 6th round. Another dual threat guy that I saw some practice clips of him. Again, grain of salt, because all of these practice clips, there are just as many bad as there are good.
Yeah.
Just depends on who decides to share what. But yeah, I'm excited to see Riley Leonard. They play tomorrow. Yeah. So their game will be on 7:00. And I think all 3 quarterbacks will play. So I'm definitely excited to see that. I'll only watch the game for that storyline because they're playing the Ravens. The Ravens, they don't really have anything that I'm, questioning. I know the Ravens are going to be incredible, and they're probably not going to play many.
Well, and we talked about this when we were breaking down all the divisions and all the teams of that roster for the Colts is very good. They're just missing a decent quarterback to not throw interceptions, fumble the ball,
3 options,
and just kind of be a game manager and get the ball to your playmakers.
Yep.
So to me, that is one of the storylines that I am excited to pay attention to. Absolutely. Because I kind of have my personal vendettas on what I think is going to happen. So to kind of prove myself right, I'll be looking at that. JJ McCarthy's the other big one. We've talked about him a lot. And we know your opinion on him. You think he's not going to be very good.
We shall see, though.
I think JJ McCarthy has a lot to prove in the fact of, in the video we posted about him, we kept on getting, well, why are we giving him respect when he hasn't done anything? Yeah.
He's won.
Why are we discrediting him for not doing anything either? So two things can be true.
That's
where
true. That's
if you're going to say, well, we can't give him any credit because we don't know what he's going to be in the NFL, then you can't say he's not going to be anything in the NFL because we don't know either. So don't sit here and say, one or the other and say, well, no, whatever.
Yeah.
I think JJ McCarthy has a ton to prove with the team that he has.
Oh, yeah.
Just be a game manager. I'm excited to see, him kind of. I feel like there's no way you don't hear all this stuff of, oh, well, you were Michigan. You got carried to this. You got carried to that. Him getting hurt last year.
Yeah.
It's hard not to, as a human, to kind of digest some of that and hear some of that. So I really, really am rooting for him this year to come out, have a good year, kind of similar to what Sam Darnold. There's going to be growing pains. He's going to make mistakes, but you have a good team. You have good coordinators. You have a good defense. You have everything in front of you.
Just revamped your interior of the O-line. Just revamped the interior of the D-line too. You've got a squad.
You have a really good tight end. Good. You have a good running back. You have arguably the best receiver in football right now.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see what JJ does this year. Personally, again, to kind of, I believe in him, so I want him to do good, so I can be like, told you so, especially to you, because I know you're. So, but I'm excited to
also
watch
in that game. So I also have this listed. I didn't realize that they play each other, but they're playing the Texans, and we have listed. I'm really excited to see the other Texans receivers that they took. Both of the Iowa State guys, Jaden Higgins and Jalen Noel. So I think Jaden Higgins is like 6'5", something like that. So him and Nico Collins together. That's crazy. I didn't realize he was that tall. Yeah. But yeah, that I'm excited to see. I'm excited to see Ashton Janty. I imagine that he will be playing. They play tomorrow at 10. They're playing the Seahawks. So I'll watch that. I'm sure Brock Bowers may get some reps. We will see. Jack Besh as well.
I think Ashton Janty is going to be
he's going to be a stud, dude.
I think he's going to be a fun player. I think he's going to be a popular player. Like you want him on one of your fantasy teams.
Yeah.
Because that's my goal. There's a chance that he just explodes, especially on a team that might need to score a lot of points keep up with.
They're going to pass a lot.
And they're going to, and I will, I know the clips that we see, we've talked about it, who really cares, but they are using him a lot in the pass game, which
they are.
For fantasy reasons, passing NFL or passing running backs is a huge desire.
Because they're getting drafted similar positions, Janty or McCaffrey.
Yeah.
Like that is a real decision that you're going to have to be making in a few weeks when you're drafting for your fantasy leagues, which I cannot wait for. Yep. But I think the biggest storyline of the preseason and became even bigger when we found out that both Dylan Gabriel and Kenny Pickett are hurt and not playing in the preseason, at least this week 1. Shedeur is starting for the Browns, and I think the Browns brass is pissed about it. I think this is the last thing they wanted after they came out and listed him as QB4 on the depth chart, when he has very clearly been not only the best rookie quarterback at their camp, but he's ironically been one of the better performing quarterbacks in general in that room. So I think he may outperform those quarterbacks and they trade him. I mean, that's a big prediction that I have coming.
Well, we've kind of said that the past couple weeks that, hey, watch out. They might be trying to do this just to get his trade stock up. And
the Browns are going to brown.
Yeah. Maybe he'll go to the Colts.
I think if anything, he goes, oh, man, I don't know.
Could you imagine? No. I've never thought about that.
Well,
Chris just kind of
I don't know if they will because they got Riley Leonard, like you mentioned.
But what happens, say Anthony Richardson is just, what if, I don't know how realistic it is that they cut him, as part of roster cuts, but then you turn around and trade for Shedeur and you're like, okay, let's try this out.
This is why it makes it so interesting because there's just so many ways that you can you can spin this and I think it's hilarious for the comments that that organization has made that now all of a sudden he is starting because their other two quarterbacks are hurt.
I am rooting so fucking hard for him. I really am. And I was also happy that he got humbled at the draft. I think it was a necessary part of his growth. But I want him to succeed in the NFL so bad. And I really do.
The other thing that I can't remember, it may have been you, is we haven't really heard of anything of him being a bad teammate, of look at me, it's been crickets. And it's been it sounds like he kind of took some of that, the same way you mentioned with being humbled in the draft and been like, hey, maybe I just need to shut my mouth and just work hard.
He's told his dad, Dion, I think, and I'm sure he'll get shit for even this coming out, but he told Dion not to come to Browns practice because he wants to remain focused. He does not want those storylines coming out because he wants, everything to be focused on the team. He does not want to stand out. He doesn't feel like he's, where he's supposed to be yet. And he acknowledged that in the interview and said, he can come when I'm ready. And that he has 6 months, he has turned into a completely
think about
different
the things
person.
He's probably told his dad, stay away. Like his dad has done some things that even the retiring of the jersey.
Yeah.
Like that, like,
well,
that
technically
was
that wasn't his dad's decision. It was Colorado's, but I'm sure he played a little bit into it. But yes,
Dad had something to do with that. But he probably kind of feels almost a little embarrassed about that because even when you look at history, some of the other quarterbacks that they've had, he shouldn't be the one guy that got his jersey retired.
But I will say he has earned, I think, a lot of respect.
Absolutely.
To a lot of people, the way he has handled everything post-draft.
I really want him to be good.
He could have had, he had all the opportunity to complain, to just, well, I'm the victim, I'm this, the only reason I didn't get picked high was because of my dad and because they don't want to see me be great. Like, there were so many routes he could have taken.
Oh, yeah.
Even the way he handled his speeding ticket.
The way he handled everything since that, and the way he's handled practice, and just, I've earned a lot of respect. I really have. And it has made me want to see him succeed and be like, the funniest part would be that the Browns organization says all the stuff they've said.
He's QB1
and then he's QB1 week 1 or by week 3, week 4, and he goes out and starts winning games.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you're like, hey, you want to eat your words of what you said about me?
I want it to happen so bad. Like, I really do. It would be one of the best storylines.
So my question to you is say this does happen. Say he ends up being the second quarterback on the depth chart. And Joe Flacco gets hurt or he's not playing very good.
He's 37.
They throw Sanders in and say he starts winning games and playing good. Hold on. Does his attitude and does his personality, persona go back to kind of what we saw in Colorado, or does it stay kind of what we've seen since the draft?
That will be the big test. If he has learned anything, if he has truly learned anything, it won't be. It will not be, he will not revert back to that person. If anything, he will address it and be like, but I think there's a route here where he ends up being great and successful and attributes his success to getting humbled. Like, feel like I needed to come down to earth a little bit. And then, he's probably one of my favorite players. Hearing that, and if he's performing well, I think the Browns have been more so than literally any other franchise, except for like the 3 years they had Baker, have been burning for a quarterback, needing a quarterback. Haven't had a quarterback like ever.
Overpaying Deshaun Watson.
Overpaying Deshaun Watson. Yeah, thinking you had a quarterback, then ending up not. So it's great. I'm rooting for Shedeur. I want to root for the Browns, but the Browns are like the Cowboys. It's just their organization is just so
easy
dog shit.
To make fun of.
So easy, yeah. And I want the Bears to get out of that picture, and I think we're headed towards it. But speaking of which, the last two teams that I am very excited to see are the Bears and the Patriots. Yeah, I know they're not playing each other.
To wrap up this episode, we can touch a little bit on our teams.
Yeah.
If you want to go first, I've got some big ones that I'm really excited about for fantasy wise and just, as giving me a little bit of hope. But
the Bears have not come out that they are 100% playing starters this week. I think it may come out either tomorrow or Friday. But I'm very excited to see a lot of the rookies and the guys that we brought in that have been making names for themselves in camp. But notably, the most excited I am is Colson Loveland. I need to see a good amount of tape from him. Luther Burden would be great to see as well. I'm sure he'll get some looks. But seriously, I cannot wait for football. And honestly, just the play calling. I know we're not going to see everything, but I want to watch the Bears offense and not feel like I need to look away from the screen because, what I'm watching is just doomed, destined for just a bad, negative yardage or a turnover. Finally, I'm going to start seeing wide open guys with space to run. That's something that I am not accustomed to at all as a Bears fan. Haven't been for a long time, maybe ever. So that's what I'm really looking forward to. That and the rookies.
Yeah, I think when it comes to my team, the maybe two players that I'm really
quite
excited
a few,
to watch.
honestly, on the Patriots.
The two big ones, though, I really like Henderson, the running back.
Yeah.
They're using him a lot in the pass game.
He's going to be a stud.
He's going to be, I think, a really good fantasy back. And Ramondre Stevenson is still having issues with fumbling the ball.
I heard he dropped some weight, though.
He did.
He's trying to get some of that breakaway speed, apparently.
Mike Vrabel came out. I think he fumbled twice in their scrimmage in the stadium. And he basically was just like, we can't have that.
Yeah.
And, unfortunately, like last year, to where it seemed like they were saying that, but then still starting him, he didn't really feel the consequence of what that is.
Yeah.
And I think Mike Vrabel will definitely enforce that not just kind of go back on his word. I am extremely excited to watch Henderson because I think it's something that we haven't had in our backfield in quite a long time since
maybe ever, dude. Seriously, think about like a prolific, he could be like a top 10, 15 running back in like maybe a year or two. When have you guys ever had a running back that is that much of a threat for you guys?
I would, maybe it's a little just my team bias, but White out of, he was pretty good out of the backfield and pretty good.
He was undrafted, right?
But to have like a guy that, hey, he can be a true first down, second down, and third down
took
back.
him in the second round.
Yeah. I'm excited to see him. The second player, just because my opinion on it is if you don't have a guy who can do it, your team's never going to be successful, is the quarterback in Drake May.
Yeah.
I am excited to see finally what, with a real head coach, with I think a real offensive coordinator with Josh McDaniels.
Yep.
Say what you want about him being a head coach. I think he's a great coordinator. We saw that.
Good quarterback.
The argument is, though, maybe it was Tom Brady doing it and not Josh. We're about to find out. And we kind of maybe did when the times he was head coaches. So that's going to be an interesting storyline for my team personally. But I really hope that we just see some potential.
I'm surprised you didn't say Jalen Polk. He's got a lot to prove.
To me, I'm already kind of like he sat out of the first couple days, made it all about him.
But he can turn that all around by going out and having 100 yards in this game.
You can, and you can also turn it all around where all of a sudden you do that on Sunday, and then none of it matters.
Exactly. You were on the record about 45 minutes ago saying you don't give a shit.
So Dylan,
he comes on Sunday and none of it matters.
So Dylan, you know that you guys are playing us this week.
We are on Sunday. What? Get ready to get your ass whooped.
I don't even friggin' care.
I don't disagree with you.
You're not even gonna watch for Quinn Ewers or Ollie Gordon.
No, I mean if you were, I'll see. You know what? I'm gonna wait for the shorts. I'm gonna wait for the short clips. I want to see Ewers, see what he does out there. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
But yes, that leading up to the
NFL is back.
The NFL is almost back.
It's almost here.
It's here. No, it's here. We can.
And then college football starts in what, 2 weeks?
Do we know what the first game is? What is the week 0?
Did you hear we have a 1 versus 2 in college football for the first time in week 1?
No way.
Is it Texas? Yeah, it's Ohio State and Texas.
Yes, 1 versus 2, first time I think maybe ever.
Yeah, that's going to be a great game. That is going to be a great. Iowa State and Kansas State could be better for week 0, but that's okay. That's all right.
Nonetheless, football is back.
That's right.
But that is going to wrap up episode 50. Woo-hoo! Thank you again for everyone. If you've been here since day 1, if you have commented on one of our short clips, we appreciate anything. If you've commented on YouTube,
if you've came on the show,
thank you for all the guys that we talked to.
AJ,
just to
Flynn,
name out,
Cullen, Vanny, Austin, all of them.
Kaiser, Jack.
Yeah,
you guys all know who you are. We try our best to kind of shine some light on everyone. I know we can't always get everyone in here to sit in the seat and talk. But a lot of our information, a lot of our opinions, we have a little ecosystem that we've come to really kind of grow and build a little community of what we like to talk about. So we appreciate all of you, Jake, Chris, everyone who has been a part of it. We try to shine some light on. But yes, to all those guys we mentioned, thank you. And for everyone who has either liked, followed, subscribed, commented, thank you as well. And here's to, I think, another great NFL season that we are all going to be excited about when it comes down to it.
We're back, baby. We are back.
We are. So anyway, yes, that is episode 50. Thank you so much, and we will see you guys next week.
It has been real, guys.
The Bears.
Oh, that was